Middle Eastern and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Good morning and thank you for listening. My name is Khalil Hachem and I'm the editor of AMMichigan.com, the fastest growing digital business magazine in the Middle Eastern communities in Michigan. This is the Local Connection brought to you in cooperation between AMMichigan.com and US Arab Radio, the best ethnic radio station in North America. I would like to take this opportunity to say good morning to the founder of US Arab Radio, Layla Al-Husseini. She is a visionary woman who has established a much-needed media outlet in our community. Definitely, US Arab Radio has grown to be one of the most important and relevant ethnic radio station in North America. Thank you, Layla, and good morning. The Local Connection focuses on local issues that are important to our community. They're important to you. They're important to our daily lives. We have a great show for you today. We are going to be talking about travel tips from TSA, home improvement tips, spiritual preparation for Ramadan, and an update on fertility with Dr. Shamma later on in the program. The number here is 248-557-3300. Please call us should you have a question, a comment, or do you like to talk about any other issues, whether it is in Arabic or in English. We hope that it is relevant to our segments today and to our topics today. The weather is about 40 degrees. It's sunny. It's a little bit cool, and it's going to get into pretty close to the high 50s, pretty close to 60. We're expecting some rain in the forecast. There are a lot of news going on, but we're going to be focusing more on our topics today. And with us this morning, we have Steve Lawrence from TSA. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Khalil, and good morning to your audience.
Thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Thank you. It is my pleasure. It's always my pleasure to spend time with you and in your audience. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you well know, in our community specifically, summer is approaching, Ramadan is approaching. That means a lot of people are going to be traveling from the United States to the Middle East, from Michigan to other places. And we just wanted to get a more or less an update on what's new, what should they expect, and how they should prepare. And before we do that, Steve, please tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about the organization.
Yeah, so thank you so much. So I'm the Regional Director for the Transportation Security Administration, and I cover the Midwest operations. So that encompasses 12 states, one of those states, of course, including Michigan. So I lead a large organization that is staffed by dedicated employees to make sure that we maintain security in all modes of transportation and we keep the system safe while providing world-class customer service. So it's an amazing organization with an amazing mission to make sure that we maintain security in all modes of transportation.
Wonderful. We appreciate all you do to keep us safe and your service. And, I traveled recently and I was really impressed with all the preparations and the way I traveled through O'Hare. And I was really, really impressed how smoothly everything worked. And we want to thank you for your service. So what should our travelers expect?
Well, I will tell you, Khalil, what you're going to expect. We just finished a record-breaking spring break season where the agency screened over 72 million passengers between the time frame of March 15th and April 15th. And we're going to see record passenger volumes for the summer period based on the passenger projections and the loads. So one of the things that we expect is the economy is going well. We expect people to travel, which is a great news story. So our job is to provide travel tips to folks and really provide, information to make sure that they have a seamless experience going through not only the TSA process, but also the airport process itself. So one website that I will, provide for your audience is www.tsa.gov, and it really is a great website that provides a great amount of information about travel tips, about what you can bring, what you cannot bring, about providing information if you need special assistance, what you can bring as far as medication and how that will be screened, but really provides not only travel tips but helpful information to our customers to make sure that they have a seamless experience going through the security process, but also the airport transit process.
Sure. Are there any new restrictions?
Yeah, there is an enhanced screening procedures for carry-on baggage, which was rolled out, at all 440 airports without the system. And the measure requires travelers to place all electronic larger than a cell phone in a bin for X-ray screening in standard lanes. So if you're a pre-check customer, you are not required to go through this, but if you're going through a standard lane, you're required to take out and place electronics larger than a cell phone in a bin for X-ray screening. Also, if passengers are traveling with food that might be dense, powders, and other items, those would be a good idea to allow screening officers to obtain a more clear X-ray image, to also remove those out of their carry-on luggage and place that in a bin for screening. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're decluttering some of the bags and electronics and certain food items that are more dense in nature. It's harder for the employees to see through the X-ray machine.
What's a free check, Steve? You mentioned that.
Yeah, so the
those who are not familiar with that.
Absolutely. The pre-check is a great program that the agency offers, where we collect some information on the passengers, and then we provide them a KTN number, a no traveler number, that they can put into their reservation. And there's a separate screening, we call it expedited screening, that they receive at the checkpoint, where they leave their shoes on, they leave their electronics in the bag, so it's a more expedited screening. And the agency provides lanes, security lanes. They're called TSA pre-check lanes at all airports. And the customers can go through a secure process, but an expedited process. And the commitment is that it's going to be less than 5 minutes. There's a cost associated with it. It's $85 for 5 years. And we have TSA pre-check enrollment centers. And there's also information on our website that also gives our passengers the option on how to enroll.
Do you have to be a frequent traveler to do this, or anybody can do this?
Anybody can do it, and it's really a good idea to kind of look at some options that the Department of Homeland Security has, and look for the traveler, what is best suited for the travel needs. So if you travel domestically, TSA PreCheck is an amazing option. If you travel more internationally, Global Entry, Nexus, or Sentry are some really great options. So I would encourage people to look at what is their travel need, and look at the options available by the Department of Homeland Security to make sure that, those travel programs are suited to meet their travel needs.
Wonderful. I'm looking on the TSA website, and it says travel checklist, and includes quite a bit of specific information, before you pack in, when you pack, when you leave to the airport, so forth and so on. It's very specific and helpful. And then the other options there, I'm assuming they are on the website as well?
Absolutely. I think the travel experience really starts at home. We want to make sure that, people pack the right way. So as much of the items that they're carrying, if they can put that in their checked luggage, I think it's easier for the employees to look at the X-ray, because there's not a lot of clutter in the checked baggage, or in the carry-on baggage, I should say. But there's helpful information available on our website. And if for whatever reason, if customers still have questions about it, we have a TSA contact center that is available to answer questions to our customers. It's 7 days a week. For the weekdays, it's open from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Weekends, it's open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And passengers and travelers should call that number and speak to a TSA representative, and they can answer questions. So it's not only the website, we also have, more one-on-one sessions with employees and customers as far as to answer questions as they travel.
Absolutely, and we encourage our listeners to do that because, understanding the procedures and understanding how things works and really makes it much, much easier and smoother travel. For example, when I travel, I try to remove anything that is metal, dressed in a certain way, and I just sail through, the check, the security part, and we thank you for that because we all want to be safe. We understand the necessity of it. We want to make it as easy as possible. Now, are there any restrictions for certain people from certain countries? Because the Trump administration has put some restrictions on, I think, 7 countries or 9 countries.
Yeah, so for us, we screen people going outbound from the U.S., and as far as for passengers coming inbound, they board an airplane. So, once they board an airplane and they're cleared to fly into the U.S., that's more of a customs and border protection issue. And we focus more on domestic travel within the U.S. and outside traveling to the world.
Wonderful. Now, sometimes certain things could happen, and is there a process in which people can address that?
Absolutely. So we have each one of our screening locations, whether it's at a checkpoint or baggage location, we have leadership staff available. And if you have questions, if you feel that there's certain things that were not handled the right way, we encourage people to engage and ask for a supervisor or a manager. There's also comment cards available that you could fill out regarding that. You could reach out to the TSA Contact Center to also share either positive stories or if you have some concerns. We'd love to hear those to make sure that we're addressing that. But we have leadership staff available, and we have comment cards available at all our locations, and we also have the TSA Contact Center available that people can reach out. And if you'd like to send us an email, you can always reach out to us at www.tsa.gov, and we'll get back to you in a very quick time frame.
If I'm a woman and I don't want a man to hand search me, can I request a woman?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, when it comes to computers and cell phones, what are the procedures for searching those? Normally, I put my laptop in a bin and then it goes through, or my cell phone, in a bin and goes through. Are there cases where officers or would want to look into those?
Absolutely. So for whatever reason, at times, a majority of the additional searches is people are not removing those. They're forgetting those. We're running late for flights. We have busy lives outside of travel. So, when you get to the airport, to make sure that you remember, what some of those travel tips are as far as helpful tips. At times that doesn't happen, so additional searches does come on. But if additional search does happen or is required, the employee will explain to the customer the process that he or she will go through as far as clearing those electronics.
Do TSA officials have the right to take a computer away and look into it, away from my site?
The searches that we conduct as in front of our customers, we have search tables available at the back of our checkpoints, and the way they're configured is they're configured that the search, whether it's a laptop, whether it's electronics, or your carry-on bag, is being searched right in front of you. It's also important to note that all searches, we have CCTV available everywhere to make sure that we have not only the physical aspect that is being done in front of the customer, but we could also review it via CCTV.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to money, that's the limit is $10,000, and we encourage everyone who's taking money to make sure it does not exceed that limit, and to really declare, whatever money they have.
That is
how specific?
So traveling overseas, there's very specific requirements. And I would encourage your travelers, your listeners, to go to the Customs and Border Protection website. It gives very specific instructions on what they do and how do they declare that. Going through the domestic operation, also kind of very similar, but it's mostly focused on international travel.
Sure. Some of the organizations, civil rights organizations in our area have raised concerns on treatment of people traveling. Has there been any coordination between these different organizations to address these issues? Absolutely.
So the local leadership staff here in Detroit and also within the region and nationally has meetings with local organizations to make sure that we have a very collaborative relationship. And then we're listening to not only great experiences and great examples, but if there's areas of concern, then we're talking through that. And, for your listeners, you and I met at one of those organizations or outings where we talk about it, and we want to make sure that all customers have an amazing experience going through a TSA screening process. And so I think that is not only something that we continue to do, that is something that we continue to foster and build, because that is the right thing to do to take care of our customers going through the screening process.
Absolutely. Steve, I really want to thank you for taking the time to be with us. And again, the website is tsa.gov. Is there a phone number as well?
Absolutely. So for the TSA Contact Center, the phone number is 1-866-289-9673.
Wonderful. Again, Steve, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, you taking the time to be with us.
Thank you so much, and I wish you and your family the very best and your listeners the very best, and looking forward to a busy but a very safe summer. Thank you.
Thank you, absolutely. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with the Local Connections. Earlier, we were talking to Steve Lorenz about TSA tips from TSA in regard to traveling, and we're going to continue to move into the second segment and how to take care of your home. You know, spring is here, and this is a perfect time to start working at on your home. And with us is Tom Rusco. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning.
Well, I appreciate it. You mentioned it's a great time of the year to start looking at taking care of your house, and as you requested, there's a few simple things that I'm going to go over homeowners can do, cost-effective, simple items that they can take care of their house and make sure that's going to be working the best that it can for them going forward.
Absolutely. Tom, please tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. Again, my name's Tom Rusco, and I'm the owner and president of HousetoHome Inspection Services. We've been around 20 years. I've been involved in the home inspection industry since 1979 and involved in over 40,000 home inspections. HousetoHome Inspection Services, my company, is a full-service multi-inspector company, and we do service all of Southeast Michigan. And in full disclosure, I think a few of your clients have used this in the past as well. And besides the home inspection, we do provide a full suite of inspection services, including, the radon gas testing, wood-destroying insect inspections, septic systems, well, water testing, mold testing, and sewer line video scopes. Our reports are an electronic report, digital pictures of defects. We also use thermal imaging for any signs of water penetration. And our reports are delivered to our clients within a couple hours after the home inspection's been completed.
Wonderful. You don't have to wait until you buy a home to get an inspection, but if you really need, suspect that there's something in the house, you can always, whether it is radon or insect or any other issues, you can always reach to you or an inspector to really find out what's going on.
Absolutely. Predominantly our business is involved in real estate transactions, but we also perform some home maintenance inspections. And again, anytime any of your listeners have a question that they'd like to ask a home inspector about their house, we're happy to answer that. That's no problem.
Absolutely. What do homeowners need to know?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of things people can do around their house. What I like to break it up into 3 sections. We'll have our exterior, our interior items, and I like to call mechanicals. It's going to be your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical systems. And again, I want to focus on things that a typical homeowner can do. You don't have to be really expert in anything to do these. These are simple, kind of elbow grease type of items, and again, low cost. So if we could start on the exterior?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, first, we've had a lot of snow this year, and so now's the time to look at your roof. Make sure it's clear of any debris that's on it. If there's any missing shingles, you want to get those replaced. Now, that's something you probably would like to, your listeners would like to have a professional do. Getting on a roof, again, that's a little more than I would say a normal homeowner should take care of. But debris that may be just laying on the roof, or the valleys may have collected leaves. Next thing, gutters. One of the biggest reasons we see water penetration into houses is because the gutters are not functioning properly. This is, again, a ladder and a little elbow grease, a hose, and you can blow the gutters out, clean them of all debris. Make sure they're pitched properly, too.
Yes.
Look at your gutters as they go along the roof line and make sure that they actually have a slight slope towards the opening where the water will come down through the downspout.
Absolutely. And gutters really, they're not that expensive. This is one of the cheapest things you can make sure your home is really, water stay away from your home.
Absolutely. And the next thing that goes with that is the foundation around the house. You want to look at the site grading. This is one of the common things we see, how people get water in the basement. The gutter extension is not on, and so if all that rainwater that comes off the roof drops right next to the side of the house, creates a depression, and now normally you're going to see in that corner of the house water penetration of some sort, dampness, moisture coming into the house. So as you mentioned, very inexpensive, a $2 or $3 piece of aluminum extending the gutter away from the house is going to save water penetration into the home. And then site grading. Take a walk around the perimeter of your home. And at that point, look to see if there's any depressions. At that point, you want to bring in some dirt, fill it in. Again, a bag of dirt is not expensive, and dumping is not hard to do either. So
No. And for those who are not familiar with this, what we're talking about here is that the dirt adjacent to the home needs to be higher than and sloping away from the home. Is that
correct? The standard requirement is 1 inch of drop for every 3 feet of length. So it's not a lot of slope that's required, but just enough to keep the water moving away from the foundation. You're correct.
Wonderful.
And then the next thing, trim the shrubs around the exterior of the home so they're not in contact with the house. Again, another simple it costs a little time, but doesn't take any money. One of the number one entry points for carpenter ants is through the shrubs into the windowsills. Obviously they like the wood. So keeping the shrubs and boot trimmed back from the house stops an entry point for your wood-destroying insects. It also will allow more sunlight and air to get to the house. And again, if you do have any wood product behind the shrubs or trees, you want to allow it a chance to dry out. Again, this is going to keep the wood in better condition going forward as well. And then again, on the outside, check the siding, whether it's brick, wood, or aluminum or vinyl. You want to check your siding to make sure it's still in good condition. Brickwork, you're going to be looking for any cracks in between the brick. Those do need to be, if you do have some where the mortar has deteriorated, you do want to have that refilled. Homeowner could do it with some mortar. They can mix it up themselves, make mud pies, or a silicone caulk works just well. Fill the cracks so no water gets in it. And again, as it freezes, it would split the brickwork again year over year. So you do want to maintain that. And then if you have a wood exterior, any exposed wood, get it painted. You don't want your wood to rot out. And then if you have vinyl or aluminum siding, just make sure it's seated and running properly. Heavy winds can oftentimes lift them up. Sometimes they can just be snapped back into place. If not, you'll then at that point probably have to have a siding contractor come back to do something if they are out of place. And the last couple of quick things on the outside, you want to de-winterize your exterior outlets. You should have had them turned off at the beginning of winter because you don't want them to freeze and break, and now's the time to turn them back on. And then on the exterior of homes, they should have, for the outlets, a ground fault circuit interrupter. And clearly, that's like in your bathroom, you have that red and black test and reset button. Okay. Those are on the outside of homes, too, because they can get wet, and anytime there's a source of water, you need to have a ground fault circuit interrupter. It's a good time to test those. Just hit the button and hit the reset button, and then make sure your power is on. Okay? And those are a few simple things on the outside. It's not going to take any money to do, really. And then it's just a little time, and again, simple items.
So on the interior?
And then on the interior, what we'd like to do is, rarely does anybody ever go in their attic, but once a year, twice a year, go up in the attic, take your camera or your phone with you so you have your camera. You got a flashlight app on it. Now you all you need is your phone to see what you're doing, because what you want to check is all your through roof fittings, where the chimney goes through the roof, where your plumbing stacks go through, where you have vents in the roof. Anything that has a hole in the roof has to be flashed and sealed. What you want to do is check to see if that is still working properly. And you will easily notice any signs of water penetration. It's an obvious thing. At that point, you want to take pictures of it. The reason being, if a contractor, you're going to get an estimate to fix it, now you have a picture to show, and it's much simpler for your contractor to give you a good estimate on what it might take to fix that. Okay? And then your smoke detectors, your fire alarms, your carbon monoxide detectors, all should be tested annually. I suggest doing it twice a year, spring and fall. So run around through the house, make sure all of those alarms are functional. And then as you're doing that, check your ceilings. I mean, most people, living in your house, you should see it, but check the perimeters of the ceilings for any signs of water penetration or staining, okay? The gutters may have backed up, and you could possibly have what's called a water damage or ice dams building up, and so the edge of the roof line may have some water stains. It's probably your gutters. At that point, you might want to call your home inspector like myself and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. What do you think it is? And at that point, cleaning the gutters may have solved it, okay? And then in the basement, you want to look for signs of water penetration, dampness. Again, if you're finding things on the outside that we discussed, like you're missing a downspout or you have depressions near the foundation that can cause dampness in the basement, if you see those on the outside, you probably have those conditions on the outside. You probably have something similar that's going to be affecting your basement. Normally, 1 and 1 does make 2. So look for any signs of water penetration in the basement that may be linked to the issues you may have found on the outside. And then cracks in the basement walls. Every basement wall is likely going to have some cracks in it. I recommend our clients take pictures of it. When we're doing a home inspection, we're going to take pictures of the cracks. That's a reference source. Not all cracks are bad. Up and down cracks are not structural to the house. You can get water in it, but it isn't going to affect the structural integrity of the house. A crack that goes side to side can affect the structural integrity of the home. And so check the wall for cracks and take pictures. Sometimes a crack happens the first year a basement's been poured in, and it never does anything for the next 35 years. You want to have a reference point, take a picture of your cracks, number them, and then every year, next year you go down. Has that crack gotten bigger? Has it changed? Now you know whether you're having settlement issues with your house. And then you do want to watch water coming in through those cracks. And again, it'll be easy for your listeners to see if they do have any of that. And then the last thing on the interior, we talked about the ground fault circuit interrupters. You should test those a couple times a year anyway. And since you're doing this walking and looking through your house and doing a little mini inspection, now's the time to go ahead and reset those and make sure that
these can go bad, is that correct?
Yes, they can. It's a little spring-loaded circuit breaker in that outlet, and that spring can go bad over time, and it just will not trip properly.
Exactly.
And again, it's a safety. It's a safety feature, and as you know, these are something that they should be make sure that they are operational.
And on the mechanical side.
Yeah, a couple things quickly here. Most of the mechanical stuff, a lot of it is something that you're going to want to have professionals do. So a few simple things homeowners can do. Number one, on your electrical, you should reset your circuit breakers every year, okay? It's recommended that you change, every time we change our clocks, go to your electrical service panel and turn every breaker in the house off, turn every one of them on. Just like you mentioned, the circuit breaker, the ground fault circuit breakers could go bad. These are spring-loaded too and could go bad too. So you should test them once or twice a year. Now's a good time. The other one's simple. Change your furnace filter. Everybody seems to forget about it. We're doing home inspections and we look at that furnace filter. They're always dirty. Your system will last a lot longer and be a lot more effective and efficient if they are changed. If you have a furnace that is a heating system or cooling system over 15 years old, you may want to consider, your listeners should consider having it serviced, where they'll take it apart, do an internal cleaning. I don't particularly think it needs to be done every year, but every few years on an older furnace or heating system, it would be a good idea. And that's going to cost several $100s, but it's a good investment every few years. And then the last thing that a homeowner can quickly do is test their sump pump. And if we're not familiar with what a sump pump is, in your basement, normally in one of the corners is a pit where all the water that would come in through the basement slab is draining into that pit. There's a pump in that, and that pump pumps the water outside the house. Those will fail, okay? They have a life expectancy of 8 years or so. So they do need to be tested because the last.
And it's not pretty when they fail.
Exactly. You don't want to water a basement full of water. Exactly. And it's an easy thing to do. They're normally a float oriented. Just reach down with something and pull that float up and see it operate.
Sounds good. These are great tips, Tom. I really, really appreciate you taking the time. How can people reach you?
Well, first we have multiple ways. Our main office number is 888-848-0202. Our office email address is info@house2homeinspections.com. And keep in mind, it's the number 2 in HouseetoHome. So info@housetohomeinspections.com. And our website, which will have some of this information on it as well, is www.housetohomeinspections.com.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us and share this valuable information with our listeners.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, Khalil. You've got a great show, and you're helping your people out around the community. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Bye now.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشد ليك في مدينة فارمington هيلز ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري اوت، جميع انواع المعجنات، وايضا صواني الكامبو المشكله والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجاليه العربيه والاسلاميه الملحمه باداره قصاب الجاليه المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 اورشد ليك في مدينه فارمington هيلز او اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمذاق عنوان لجميع طلباتكم. اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمعامله الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. We've had two great segments so far, and we want to thank Tom for being with us, and also like to mention that Tom advertises with us at Michigan.com. He's one of our supporters, and he's been a great guy and a great source of information. Well, we're going to include his information in the Ramadan guide. Ramadan is around the corner. It starts on either, depending on the moon cycle, either May 16th or the 17th. And, I asked Tom to prepare some information so we can put that in the guide as well, the information that we shared this morning for you to keep and take care of your home. Also, we're going to include in the guide the information that Steve Lorenz from TSA mentioned to us as well, and the travel checklist and the different programs that are available for you to stay safe and go through the airport. I believe Jerry is still on. Good morning, Jerry, and I'm sorry we kept you waiting.
That's okay, Mr. Khalil Hachem. Good morning, and thank you for taking my call. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you? It's always a pleasure to talk to you. What's on your mind?
Mr. Khalil Hachem, because of the holy month of Ramadan around the corner, I just want to say congratulations to all my brother Muslim all over the world for the coming of month of Ramadan, and I wish peace and love will be in our countries in the Middle East. Mr. Khalil Hachem, yesterday was a big event. The history was made with the end of the Korean War between the North and the South. And Mr. Khalil Hashim, because this is a very important issue, I would appreciate if you allow me to talk a little bit in Arabic to
very quickly.
Thank you. Mr. Khalil Hashim, احنا هذا الحدث هز العالم وهزني أنا عندما أرى بلدين أكثر من نصف قرن كانوا في حرب، والبارحة استطاع رئيسي الدولتين أن يتقاربوا ويوقعوا مصالحة لإنهاء الحرب. يا له من حادث، يعني أنا كشرق أوسطي بكيت يا أخ خليل. لماذا؟ لأنني أشعر بالحزن لأن نرى الدول العربية، دولنا في الشرق الأوسط، هذه الحروب الأهلية، هذه النزاعات. كم أتمنى لو أن الدول العربية تنهي مشاكلها مع بعضها وينتهي القتال في سوريا الحبيبة، في اليمن السعيد، بين الدول العربية جميعها، الفصائل الفلسطينية في الضفة الغربية وفي غزة. نريد صلحا، نريد إنهاء هذه المعاناة الإنسانية. هذا الدم، نزيف الدم، يجب أن يتوقف. كما أتمنى. هذه كانت مداخلتي لك يا
شكرا جيري، شكرا
عزيزي.
ممنون عينك. يعني مش بس انت، كلنا بنتأمل هيدا نحن، ولكن للأسف العالم يتقدم والعرب يتأخرون.
هذا حلمنا
للأسف، يعني للأسف إلى الوراء إلى الوراء إلى الوراء، وخياني
والكراسي خليل.
الكراسي كما تكون يولى عليكم شعب تعبان وحكام فاسدين وإلى وإلى وإلى. Anyway, we don't want to really spend a lot of time on that.
نتمنى الخير ونتمنى السلام.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله.
شكرا أخي خليل.
شكرا كثير جيري، شكرا كثير. شكرا كثير.
السلام عليكم.
What we're going to do is we're going to take another break and we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
قشات ميديترينيان ماركت بإدارة سهر قشات وأولاده يرحبون بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. جميع أنواع المواد الغذائية، البان طازجة، الكرزات والبهارات الطازجة. داخل الأسواق مطعم ميديترينيان شيش كباب يقدم يوميا جميع أنواع الكباب، المقبلات العربية العراقية وصواني الكامبو المميزة. تفتح الأسواق من 8 إلى 9 مساء من الاثنين وحتى السبت، ومن 8 صباحا إلى 9 مساء يوم الأحد. تقع الأسواق على 32839 نورث ويسترن هايوي في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز. لحوم حلال للجالية الإسلامية. لطلباتكم من المطعم كول 248-538-7855. That is 248-538-7855. قشة ميديترينيان ماركت، خدمة متميزة ومعاملة راقية.
Life is a non-profit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشد ليك في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري اوت، جميع انواع المعجنات، وايضا صواني الكامبو المشكله والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجاليه العربيه والاسلاميه، الملحمه باداره قصاب الجاليه المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 اورشد ليك في مدينه فارمينغتون هيلز، او اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمذاقي عنوان لجميع طلباتكم، اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمعامله الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shamma is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shamma has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shamma is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shamma at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. Earlier, we were talking to Tom from House-to-Home Inspection, and also wanted to let you know very briefly that, as you well know, I'm in the real estate market, and it's very important that, to know that the inventory is very low. So if you have a home for sale, this is the best time to sell. And some homes are going on the market in your neighborhood. That changes your the value of your property. And if you're interested to know how, give me a call, 313-819-0101. I'll be more than happy to go over it with you and let you know how it affected your property value, that is, and we can go from there. Just keep in mind, if you're thinking about selling, this is the best time to do it. And we're going to continue to our last segment of the program, and we're going to be talking to Dr. Shamma on regard to fertility. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning to you and to your listeners. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. How are you? And thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for having me this morning. It's such a beautiful
Absolutely, day. Absolutely. Although we don't have a luxury of a lot of time, we'll have very brief time. What you want to do is, very quickly, please tell us a little bit about you. This is the first time you appear on our show. I know that you have a show with Layla, but on the Local Connection, this is the first time we connect, and we are so honored that you're joining us. Very quickly, Dr. Shamma, just tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm the president and CEO of IVF Michigan, and IVF Michigan is a medical practice which has locations in both the states of Michigan and Ohio, and we actually concentrate on the treatment and management of infertility-related issues for couples that are trying to have babies and they cannot have babies. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes, really, thank you, and we're really honored that you're joining us. So what we're going to do this time is very quickly, we're just going to be talking about, what's new in the fertility world and how it changed and what can people do to really get help.
Okay, I mean, what's new? It's actually I want to just tell you a story before I tell you what's new.
Yes.
Many years ago, I decided to also take the boards, our subspecialty boards, in my original country of Lebanon. Yes. And I went there, and during I wasn't sure exactly what they're going to ask me, questions and so on. And the only question that they asked is, okay, doctor, so you're coming from the United States, so what's new? So this reminds me of that visit many years ago. So I explained to them, briefly what was new at that time in our field. But it just brings memories, very fun memories in my head.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
we're glad we can bring good memories to you.
Okay. I want to actually also, the second thing that I want to discuss this morning, before I tell you what's new, is that this week happens to be National Infertility Awareness Week. And the reason this is very relevant is because infertility these days affects 1 out of every 6 couples trying to have a baby. And this is a dramatic change over the past some 20 to 30 years. So again, to put this in perspective, maybe 30 years ago, the rate of infertility in the United States was around 1 in 10 couples. Now that had morphed into 1 in 6 couples that are attempting to have children, and that is a major epidemic. With that being said, the treatments could not have been better currently in managing such disorders. So, to again,
why do we have an increase?
For two main reasons, I was going to mention that. Khalil.
Yeah.
The first reason is that women are delaying childbearing. Women are delaying childbearing within the marriage, and that's for obvious reasons. And they're delaying the marriage in the first place. So because they're getting more educated, they're getting more degrees, they want to enjoy life a little bit in the beginning, and it became socially apparent in the United States that the age of marriage is getting, older and older, and therefore, as a result of that, it becomes more difficult as women get older in terms of achieving pregnancy. So with that's one reason. The second reason, that not very obvious reason, is that the rate of male infertility has dramatically increased over the past decades. And that is almost certainly related to environmental concerns, and it is sort of hard to classify all those environmental concerns briefly, but they're environmental related to issues, whether it's phthalates, whether it's BPA, whether it's toxins, whether it's lead, whether it's arsenic. So all of those things have dramatically caused a change in the capacity of men to make their partners pregnant. And for those two reasons put together, 1 in 6 couples have infertility. Now, because of those facts, we see more and more patients suffering from this, but the good news is, as to elaborate on our discussion this morning, is that the treatments could not have become better over the years. And what I'm trying to say is, with the advent of assisted reproductive technology, the chances of success has dramatically changed from 30 years till now. There is new technologies in overcoming almost completely male factor infertility. In very, very few instances, we cannot help the men. And as far as women are concerned, the technologies do help dramatically also, but then there is a limitation related to age. That is, as age becomes more pronounced in the female partner, then it becomes more difficult. And sometimes you cannot override such a concern except using, again, methods that maybe not be traditional, but like using donor eggs and so on. But in general, with the advent of the technology, we have overcome those two issues. The other third part of that equation.
Now, doctor, in regard to male infertility, is it the fact that the male does not have enough sperm, or none, or is it that they don't live long enough?
Well, I mean, it is all of the above. So let me tell you how it works. There's a recent study published last year which looked at semen analysis or counts in the developed world over the past 50 years. Those counts have decreased 50% in a downward trajectory over the past 50 years. Can you imagine? 50% decrease in the counts worldwide in the developed world. We do not have data in the developing world. But in the developed world, they have decreased 50%. Now, can you imagine if it decreases another 50% in the next 50 years, what would happen in terms of the rates of infertility and capacity of humans to have kids? That would be a very dramatic concern. What I wanted also to discuss is that with the advent of genetics, which is basically our ability to genetically not modify, but genetically choose competent embryos, we have also surpassed any concerns that we had in the past in terms of making sure that not only we make people pregnant, but we make couples have healthy babies. To dovetail on this, the other issue is that with the advent of genetic technologies and genetics, we are able now to limit the number of embryos to put back in women and couples trying to have babies that way, and therefore limit them to one embryo and therefore almost completely eliminate the risks of multiple and especially high-order multiple pregnancy. So all those three things are the very dramatic ways that infertility in 2018 is able to help, infertility management is able to help almost any couple that comes to us our way that is suffering from infertility.
Yeah. Now, is there any cases where men have no sperm whatsoever?
Yes, I mean, of course, there are
naturally?
situations. Yeah, naturally. Yeah. I mean, there are situations where the men, because of obvious reasons, do not have sperm, and I give you some of those reasons. I mean, one of the reasons is that there are situations when there is some sort of a ductal obstruction, that there is they're born with inability of the sperm to make it to the outside, and even if they have no sperm, we can always get sperm directly from their private gonads and testicles, and then achieve pregnancy that way. There are situations when the testicles fail, and if the testicles fail, it usually is a genetic concern, but sometimes it's related to chemotherapy, radiation, what have you. In those situations, it's harder to help. And then there are situations when the brain doesn't send signals to the testicles to work, and those are also manageable to some degree. So even in situations when there is no sperm, we are actually, in the preponderance of cases, we are able to help men achieve actually biological children, as opposed to maybe 10 years ago we couldn't.
Unfortunately, it's we're under time constraint, and this is an incredible topic, and we're going to be exploring, different segments every month on this program. We want to thank you for being with us. If anybody needs to reach you, Doctor, is there a number they can reach you at?
Well, I mean, they can reach us at our Bloomfield Hills office, or Ann Arbor office, or Dearborn office, or Macomb office. We have multiple offices. The best option is to call the Bloomfield Hills office, which are our main center, at 248-952-9600, and the address, all of those addresses on our website. And if they go to ivf-mi.com, they can go there. And lastly, tomorrow, actually, out of all days, we're hosting an open house between 10 and 1, and patients can show up or go to our website and sign up for it at ivf-mi.com.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning. It is an honor, our pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for the valuable information.
And my regards to all your listeners.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I wanted to thank you for being with us for an hour. We have covered various topics. I won't be talking to you till Ramadan gets here. Happy Ramadan. Don't forget, we need homes. If you have homes for sale, give me a call. The number is 313-819-0101. I have a list of clients looking for homes, and I'll be more than happy to help you sell your home and get you the most money for it, whether it is a home or commercial. Give me a call. Again, the number is 313-819-0101. Stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye now.